If you saw our last episode, we did a bunch of bucket tests so we could determine whether our pond is going to be able to hold water. And what we learned was opposite of everything I expected. So I'm trying to figure out how to recover from that here, and that's what we're going to be working on today. The first thing I want to say is we have a load of bentonite on the way. It won't be here yet today, it'll be a little bit later. So what I'm trying to do here is get some of this blue clay that I thought was wonderful, turns out not to be so wonderful, off the sides and replace it with some of the yellow sandy clay stuff that, according to the testing, is better. We'll work on that throughout this episode. Hopefully we can be close to finished with the interior of the pond. Let's get started. This is some of that sandy stuff that I've put along the top here. Just an experiment at this point to try to figure out how to best do this. And this part along here, I've taken the excavator and just grabbed what was up against the side. Essentially built myself another little shelf just by dragging it down here and making it a little wider out here, right? And then I thought I would put some of that sand in here just like you saw behind. So you can come down here and see what it looked like before, right? So this is the current approach that I'm proposing. Notice I'm giving up on my steep banks here. I'm giving up on those for a couple reasons. One is the complaints that everybody had. Oh, you don't want those steep banks. You can't have those. Those are unsafe and all that. But the bigger reason is that I've got to get bentonite incorporated into that. When they're compacted and hard like they are, there's no way I can incorporate any bentonite. So I'm going to have to get a more sloped bank and just give up on that approach overall. So I've started doing that over there. I took down that bank. That was more sandy up through there. And I'll probably end up taking this road out all the way around. Not sure whether to take out my sump pump today or whether to do that later. It'll all depend on how good a progress we make. I'm also going to put some of the sandy contents on the bottom and see if I can get that sealed up once and for all. It really seems like a shame to be doing this. I really kind of thought I was done, right? Not totally done, but down to the fine work. So taking this side off here, and yeah, I'm making a vertical bank here now, but I'll be sloping it as well when I put the yellow stuff in. But yeah, taking this down after going to all the effort to put it up there it's just kind of disappointing. Having said that, it feels pretty good to feel like I'm doing it right now and to not be shooting in the dark like I was before. I think I'll get a little bit more of that down right up there. I have to back in with the blade on the front. It's the only way I'm able to get close enough on the sides here. Very good position. Not a very solid base right here. Go around here to the other side. Probably have to unplug my water pump. I'll get it to run one more time here.
Most of the holes are plugged up, looks like.
Nothing really I can do about that. Well, back to it. As a reminder, the bucket tests have shown that the yellow stuff that I've been testing, I've called it sand. It clearly is not pure sand. It's got clay in it. But that yellow stuff has proven better at holding water than the blue. And that was contradictory to most everything that we believed. Essentially everyone I had out to look at this, all the comments, talked to Dirt Perfect, almost everyone thought this blue stuff would be better than the yellow, more sandy looking stuff. But the proof is in the testing, and that is why I'm so excited to be working with Natural Waterscapes. Their bucket tests are easy to set up, easy to understand, and from my perspective, they do a good job of showing your soil's ability to hold water. And when I have questions, I've been able to use both the chat feature as well as the telephone support, and everyone I have spoken with, I think 3, 4, 5 different customer support representatives, have all been incredibly knowledgeable. And if they've ever been stumped, they've referred it to the on-staff hydrologist. I usually get kind of frustrated with customer support teams because sometimes they don't know what they're doing, but not in this case. I've just been so impressed. Now, you can find more details about our project and the analysis that Natural Waterscapes has provided for our project at naturalwaterscapes.com/TTWT. One more comment before I move on. We talked to several different companies seeking help for our pond, and we had difficulty with several other ones, just getting responses that made sense. Many of them just wanted to push a product on us and didn't want to work specifically with our challenges to help us understand and get the right solution. So, yep, these guys are different. naturalwaterscapes.com/TTWT. Now, that blue clay is nasty as can be. It gets wet and it gets gooey, it smells, it doesn't hold anything. Like you step in it, you go up to your knee or more. So I couldn't be more thrilled to not use it, I'll be honest there. But I thought I had to, right? I thought I had no choice until we got these results back. So the information is not all bad. If I can get some of that yellow up to where people will be right on the edge of the pond, or you might step in and get a little wet or something, I'm glad not to have that blue clay right there. Remember, this blue clay is what I was calling muck when I was getting it out. It's amazing how much different it works when it gets dry. I mean, you can see it's working beautifully now. We've got some logistical challenges coming up with the next episode or two. I'm trying to get a hold of a couple of different attachments that I think are necessary for the job moving forward, but they're just not arriving quickly enough to be able to do things in the order that I would like. An episode or two ago, I said something about this is not quite the same as the movies. Not everything works out perfectly. Well, that's what's going on here. I wish I had planned ahead a little better and been trying to get these attachments in time. I found out I couldn't rent them, so I've had to, change my plans a little bit, and, well, sometimes it just doesn't work as it does in the movies. I've learned a lot about mini excavator attachments and couplers and the like, and I want to share some of that information when I get some time. I just don't have time right now, and actually I'm still learning, so yeah, we'll get to that probably after the pond project. I'll go through some of the details of all the things I've learned here, and I think it'll help those of you who are considering getting a mini excavator of your own. If you're already an excavator expert, yeah, most of the information I'm learning is, well, second nature to you. It was very steep on this side, so certainly pulling this out and making it a little less steep is going to be helpful on this side. I reached topsoil out there, maybe a little too far. I'm going to end this one here, as the rest of it's just more of the same thing. Sometimes you just have to regroup and restart, and we're going to do the best we can to get this pond holding water. So if it requires admitting a mistake or, redoing something, big deal. That's just the way it goes. Please come back for our next episode. We start putting it back together, hopefully, for good this time. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland.